Hey everybody, this is Nikki with Delicate Tension Tarot. I'm going to start off by saying this will be a reading for the sign of Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or if you just have a lot of Cancer placements in your chart. For example, I have, I think 5 placements in Sagittarius. If you don't know what your chart is, you can always go to Cafe Astrology. I definitely recommend having the correct birth time or as close as you can get, just because it really can impact certain areas of your chart, at least for the planets that are closer. Sorry for not being around in the month of January. It was definitely a much needed break that I needed to take for myself, especially for everything that was going on astrologically at that time. January was kind of a super packed month. I know there's quite a few people, in my life that experienced more external issues. I found mine were more internal. I definitely was going through some interesting push and pull emotions within myself, and when I get that way, it's very hard for me to read objectively. So I wanted to just go ahead and make sure I was good before I did that. And even with personal readings, I really had to make sure that I was in a good place before I could say yes. So with that out of the way, this will be a reading for the month of February. I don't know if I'm going to do bi-weeklies anymore unless I get a large amount of requests to go back to doing it. I feel like for now this would be best. So yeah. We do have Mercury going retrograde on the 16th of this month. Today it is the 9th, so we are already in its shadow. And personally for me, I notice that there's more, I feel it more in the shadow period than I do when it's actually happening. I feel like weird things just start happening when it's the shadow period. And during the actual thing, I just take an opportunity to go slow. Not to, make any serious decisions. And just go with the flow. And with whatever does happen, just accept it. And it is what it is and let it go. And I find that it's easier to operate during a retrograde period that way. So advice if you're having a hard time by the time that you watch this. And without further ado, let's get started. Show me what's happening for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the month of February. Just had a little peek at the 5 of Cups, so you could actually be going over some losses at this time. Maybe it's from things that have happened over the last 5 weeks. Very positive though. Your first card is going to be the Sun. That's awesome for you guys. I think you guys are in a period of clarity right now. I will say this is definitely the best that I've seen in your readings over the past 6 months. So congratulations that you're finally in this place. You could be feeling a lot of freedom. Home life could be great. Work could be great. Just every area of your life could really be blossoming. If you do have children, your children are doing great. Overall, I just feel like you're in a good place. There's really not even much I can say about this other than awesome. Great job. Keep doing whatever it is that you're doing, because you're really, I think you're really unloading and you're unburdening yourself by being in this energy. So show me what the block is. Page of Wands, there could be a need to maybe start going in new directions. There might still be some hesitancy there because there's something here with communication. Maybe you feel like you can't take that next step until certain things are known for sure. Show me what's happening in the subconscious, please. We have the 3 of Pentacles, so your focus could be on projects and or work at this time, collaborating with other individuals. I like it. You might also be trying to figure out more, or how to do more, or how to learn to do something. Show me what's happening in the recent past, or what has happened in the recent past. that's definitely the energy you guys have been in for the past couple months. So recent past, we have the Nine of Swords. There could have been a lot of worrying, sleepless nights, really actually like emotionally stressing yourself out, which could have led to adrenal fatigue. It could have led to insomnia. It could have led to hypersensitivity. There could have been a lot of issues around this. I'm glad you're out of it though. This is awesome. I'm like kind of starting to get pumped for your reading because of how good it is. So show me what's happening in the higher self sector or forefront conscious mind, please. We have the High Priestess. Your intuitive nature could be on point right now. You could literally be just trusting whatever your internal guidance or compass is telling you. I also think you're learning, I don't want to say patience, but it's like, it's definitely the art of war. I mean, it's about how powerful silence can be and also how powerful detachment can be. Because it's almost as if as soon as you became more detached, or as soon as you like freed yourself from this issue, all of the answers were clear. Everything you needed to do is clear to you. But it definitely took some time to get to that point. I mean, really, I feel like even before the last 6 months, the last 9 months for you probably were an absolute nightmare. What's happening in the near future for Cancer, please? This is awesome. We have the World, so you could be completing a major cycle, major karmic lesson, major life lesson. You actually could be advancing to the next stage. Part of me feels like this is connected to the Page of Wands. I feel like in the near future, because you're going to be wrapping up and completing these cycles, you are going to be free and available to advance to the next stage or to actually start really moving forward in your life. Show me what's happening emotionally for Cancer, please. Seven of Pentacles. Emotionally, I feel like you're just in a state of thinking. I mean, you really could be doing this whole like lump sum thing where you're just looking at what is paying off and what is working for you and what isn't, and then, you know, basing your harvest off of that. I feel like you're trimming down a lot of things in your life. Let's pull one more for the emotional sector. Well, we got 3 more, so okay. Way to be extra, guys. We have the Magician. We have the Knight of Wands, and then we have the Seven of Swords. So there is a part of you too that could possibly be seeing repetitive patterns in your life for not only your ability to manifest these things into your life, but I think you're really weeding out potentially manipulative individuals in your environment. I think you're really starting to see things for what they are, and you really understand now what your time and energy deserves. I think this is the cycle that you're ending. Or it should be. I mean, that's everybody's on their own personal journey. What you do is up to you, but I really do feel that way. Show me what's happening around Cancer, please. We have the Emperor. So what's happening around you? You could be dealing with... I'm going to pull one more. Let's pull one more here for what's going on around them. King of Wands. You could be dealing with more authoritative figures. I mean, it could be fatherly energy, but it's also the energy of someone who's in control. If this isn't what's happening around you, I feel the need to say this. And this actually is you. be mindful. Because I feel like there's a lot of confidence right now with where you're at. And I just want you to be careful that it's not, you know, there's a difference between being confident and being cocky. This doesn't have to be specific to males either. This can apply to females as well. But also in the near future, you actually, if you're not dealing with it right now, you could be dealing with it in the future. You could be dealing with another male where there could be an aggressive exchange. So be mindful of that as well. If you're going to fight, use diplomacy, right? Use diplomacy, use negotiation. Do not use... don't don't get in a fight. Don't get in a physical fight. Do the right thing, not the thing that you want to do right now. So let's look at the hopes and fears here. Hopes and fears. You have the 10 of Wands. This is a lot, by the way. 5 of Wands. Fool in reverse. And the 7 of Wands. I think that this is definitely a fear here. I feel like you're really worried that you're never going to actually be able to close out this cycle. You feel like you're going to constantly be waxing and waning between internal conflict and then going to being on the defense and never actually getting out of that. But I don't, obviously, with the world being here in your near future, this is something that is definitely tangible within your outcome if you can just continue on the path that you're on and not get pulled into whatever this drama is. Let's see the advice here for Cancer or far-reaching outcome. So we have Temperance, get balanced. And then we have Death in the reverse. We have the Lovers in reverse. And we have the Devil. I strongly suggest you end this cycle. It's very strange that that's in the advice. I mean, really, I feel like what the advice is saying for you is that you need to get balanced and you need to always remember this feeling that you feel right now. What it is that you feel right now needs to stay with you. It needs to stay with you and it needs to be a permanent part of who you are. Because I think you're going to have to rely on this feeling, rely on this situation, or rely on this circumstance and the lesson that it taught you if you really are going to move forward in your life. Because there is this thing of being pulled back into really shitty patterns for yourself that just aren't good for you. I feel like you keep getting pulled into things that actually take you further away from your divinity. It literally feels like something like pulling someone under. Because this has to change. Whatever this is has to change. Let's clarify the Sun. What is it that... How funny. And the Devil. So I feel like the clarity is on the toxic patterns or the toxic relationships or situations that are in your life. And if this is the case and you know, then get out of it. Stop involving yourself in it. Let's clarify the Page of Wands here is the block. We have the Hanged Man. So yeah, with the Page of Wands, there's hesitancy with this movement forward because it's also like feeling stuck or feeling unsure. I mean, energetically too, you could just feel so strongly connected to another individual where it's almost like, you know, you telling yourself this lie as if this person adds to your enlightenment, or if you know, they're teaching you so many things that it's worth keeping this toxic connection in your life because, you know, you've just learned so much since you've been with them. Yeah, okay, well, that can be it. You know, like you've learned what you've had to learn, and you don't need to keep going back to whatever this abusive cycle is, because it is abusive, whether you want to actually recognize that or not. And the thing is that I feel like you do recognize it. You're very clear on this pattern. I would also be really fucking careful if you're not trying to get pregnant. Or if you're not trying to get somebody else pregnant. I'd be really careful if I were you. Clarify the Three of Pentacles for me, please. We have the Two of Wands. This is definitely plans for the future. It's needing to make decisions around where you're going next within your own career or these own projects. Let's pull one. Oh, or two more. We have the Hermit and we have the Six of Swords. So I do feel like there is a need to really like take a time out and figure out your next steps. Because I feel like when the time comes for you to go all in on this project or whatever this endeavor is, you're going to have to go all in. You're actually going to be required to go all in. If you're actually going to reap the benefits or the rewards of whatever this is. Let's clarify the Nine of Swords here. We had the Page of Cups. So in the past, you could have really been in a stuck place because you either could have been waiting for an apology, or you were waiting for a message, or you were waiting, or even being teased by someone who kept kind of coming in and just giving you little breadcrumbs or little bits of acknowledgement. And it was driving you crazy because you didn't understand what was going on. And to be perfectly honest, I don't know if this person understands what's going on either. It's like they do and they don't all at the same time. I don't know if this person actually has what it takes to sustain you. Like to really help you, to really hold you, to really nurture you. I don't know if this person has it. Because it's almost like you no longer wanting to be in their environment. There's a bigger pond. There's something about this person that keeps you so... It keeps you in a small pond. And there's a much bigger pond for you to dive into. So if this is also just backing up, when it comes to me talking about like an abusive or toxic situation, it could be mentally, it could be emotionally, it could be physically. But whatever this is, it's like, it's restriction, right? It's something that keeps you from actually reaching the points in life that you desire. And I don't think you see it. Like I said, I do feel like you see it, but I don't think you actually see it. Because the connection is so strong that I think sometimes it actually blinds you to that. Let's clarify the High Priestess. With the High Priestess, we have the King of Wands. So yeah, I mean, you definitely know who you are. You definitely know what you're capable of. But I also feel like you definitely know the potential of where this can go. Going back to me talking about the confrontation that could possibly take place, I'd be very careful. Do not act for the sake of taking action. Or aggression. Like, I really do feel like you have to look and think about your next steps in a very serious way. Let's clarify the World. With the World, we have the Ace of Pentacles. For the love of God, please close out this cycle. I feel like there is so much waiting for you on the other side of this. But I actually think it really requires you to totally learn the lesson and walk away. Like, you have got to free yourself from this. Because there is something beautiful on the horizon for you. Pull one more for the Ace of Pentacles in the world. We have the Empress. Look at that. Not only is this getting to a better place for yourself, but it's getting to that place as well as calling in a partner that you actually deserve or need. Also, another side note with my comment on pregnancy, be very careful, because those are very fertile combinations for me. Because the other thing with this too is like, if the cards want to speak for me, it's almost like, don't even say it. Just, I don't even have to say it. You know how this would go if that happened. And I don't think it would be positive. Let's clarify the Seven of... Let's clarify the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. One more time. Let's clarify the Seven of Pentacles with the Magician, the Knight of Wands, and the Seven of Swords, please. We have the Four of Swords. And we have the Four of Cups. I really think you need to distance yourself from this because you're tired. I think you're tired of the same old shit. It's quite possible that you also could have been dealing with this for the past 4 months, 4 weeks, or there's been 4 separate occasions that you have connected and disconnected from this person. Or it's been 3 times before that, and now that it's the 4th, it's easier to just put the kibosh on it. Let's clarify that. Let's clarify the Emperor and the King of Wands. We have the Page of Swords, we have the Four of Wands, and we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. I mean, this could honestly have a lot to do with a couple of different things. Valentine's Day coming up. You could have an unexpected message or visitor. I also feel like there is someone who knows who you are. Someone connected to this person outside of the situation. They know who you are. They know where you are. And I want you to be careful because of that. They know that you're the person that they run to. And if you're in a situation, then this could possibly be referring to you as well, that you're doing this to another person. Because it's like connect, disconnect, connect, disconnect. It's constant. It's back and forth. I didn't even notice that this was down here. Judgment and the Moon. Obviously I noticed it right now for a reason. With Judgment and the Moon, it's time. Like, I think it's time to really clear through the clutter. There could be a peak of something happening around this full moon in Leo, which is tonight. There also could be something that happens by the next new moon or the next eclipse. Because this is really intense energy. This is needing to go ahead and call it. Sorry, I'm trying to check my timer to see how much time I have left. Okay, so with the advice and the outcome. Let's see what Temperance has to say. Temperance wants you to get balanced so you can take a new leap of faith towards something with the Fool. I think it's almost like go in the direction that feels the most fulfilling. When you feel like you don't have to do much to get results, that's the direction that you're going in. It's almost like when you're on the right path, everything is quite effortless. I'm not saying that when things get hard, that means you should dip, but it's just naturally, like everything in life doesn't have to be a struggle, right? Clarify Death in the reverse for me, please. I just think you need to be free. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. This also could be some really shitty karmic cycle that you keep repeating for yourself. It could be part of your, Death wanted to come out too. It could be part of like family lineage, family storylines, family background. But there is this thing where this is karma that you really do need to complete. And some people are like, well, completing my karma is doing the right thing. Yeah, and sometimes doing the right thing is walking away and not facilitating whatever this mess is. Sometimes karma or completing karma is acceptance. I feel the need to say that. Sometimes it's just accepting what it is, what's happening, or what has happened, and knowing that it had nothing to do with you. Let's clarify the Lovers in reverse. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, I feel like this person's going to keep coming back around. And if it isn't that person, it's going to be a new person if you don't complete this cycle. Let's clarify the Devil. We have the Nine of Cups. It's time for you to get real, and the Nine of Swords. It's time for you to get real. And I really want you to sit down and think about why is it that the things that you find the most pleasure in also cause you the most pain? This is a very serious question, I think, for this group of individuals who's watching this video. I really want you to sit down and think about it, because it's coming up for a reason. Why? Why is it that the things that bring you to the highest point of like elation or ecstasy also bring you down to the darkest depths of despair? Because that's not healthy. It is not healthy. And I mean, I know there's this whole like yin yang thing with life, but with this, it has something to do with control. Like, this person knows what to do and what to say to get you to the point of being elated, but they also bring you down so heavily. And they know it. They know what they do to you. They do. I'm sorry. They're very aware of what they're doing. I do think part of it is like their own personal issue. But at the end of the day, like, this is someone who understands not only what they have done, but what they are doing. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where my other deck is. So I'm going to pull 3 cards from the deck of character. Just some overall themes and messages for you. Final messages for Cancer, please, for the month of February. Take that. So we have Inferno. We have Dumpster. What'd I tell you? Final card, please. And we have Thief. I think it's time for you to, like, get rid of this, please. And I mean, if you can't, you're going to learn your lesson on your own, and that's fine. I'm just here to give advice. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. I just want you to really think about this, and I think you'll come to your own conclusions and understanding as to what it is that I'm saying. It's time to take out the trash. It's time to get rid of what no longer belongs, and it's time to kind of like cut out these people who are just taking from you. They just need to go. All right, Cancer, so stay on the good note, stay in the sunny sunshine, get away from this situation, and I will see you guys next month, okay? Have a good one.